compelling portrayal of four different women and kind of covers their, non-verbally, their emotional state, and kind of centers around their the issues of love and family and pets, and because pets are kind of like our family as well. And it was a really kind of wonderful character window into all these women's lives, and all revolving around a very important issue, which is abortion rights for women, which I completely support. And I think all these type of things need to be addressed. And I thought the filmmaker did a great job of punching home the message. And congrats to everybody involved.
This one was very intimate. I found it very trusting, and I really admire whenever a filmmaker or any type of artist decides to use their voice to advocate for a specific issue in the society. So this was a very good example of this reach that you can't really describe, but I thought it was beautiful and familiar and relatable, and you did a great job. I really enjoyed your film.
One word: powerful. I watched an entire film that had no dialogue, and it told multiple stories. In a way, it didn't feel like a film at all. It felt like I was a fly on the wall in a therapy session. I was watching these women living their lives, kind of seeing their intimate moments, and it was beautiful to watch. And I wrote down, what an interesting way to tell a story and visualize the range of human experience and emotions and have an intimate view of someone's personal life. But also, as I got to a certain point, I thought, wait, these women are telling their story, but I can't hear it. Why are their stories being silenced? And I could tell that they weren't actors necessarily. Like, it really felt like they were in a therapy session and they just took out the sound. But the amount of emotion and feeling that came across on the camera was emotional. It was powerful. Like, I felt it. I really appreciated this film, and I appreciated the story, the many stories that it told.
The use of silence was highly effective in ours to tell. So often in a film, we're given the idea as an audience on having certain feelings about the characters and the situations taking place, and that we should feel what they feel. We're almost driven to that by the character development and plotline. This short was really great at showing each person's individual strength and weakness, both. Each character brought a certain passion to their role, but at the same time, they felt, to me, it looked like they were a little lonely too. They still seem lonely. And I kept expecting each life to collide, walking down the street with the dogs or in a coffee shop. However, all separate lives remain separate. Although I still felt like there was a connection from one person to the next. We all have basic needs and wants, and I also agree that we should have equal opportunity to choose how to experience our lives. So this one was food for thought.
I really liked that it kind of took time before it got to what was like the root or the purpose of the film itself, that like it took time to set up each of the people that were going to be telling their story, and it didn't feel rushed at all. It felt like it was really allowing the space for those people to tell their story the way that they wanted to tell it, and I really appreciated that.
I really liked the simple intro and title design in the beginning of the film. I feel like not every film needs to have a fancy, eye-catching, static intro and title design, so I feel like every intro and title design depends on the type of story it is. I thought it was really interesting that they chose not to do any dialogue at all. I feel like the music, I feel like the film was more relying on the music and the storytelling to get the message across to the viewers and let it tell a story that way.
I thought this was really interesting. At first, I kind of felt like, oh, well, these women aren't being heard and everything, and I wasn't really sure what the focus was. But I thought the use of the camera angles and the music really set the mood. You take time every day to look at these little aspects of life, and you think they're just kind of, we kind of pass through them without realizing all the little things that go into life. So I thought that was interesting as well. Something a little different that went along with the film. I thought it was the way it was wrapped up at the end was, really, it kind of grabbed you. So I think it definitely had an effect. So very good
I thought
job.
that this was a powerful piece. The message at the end really drove everything home, but I really liked the use, or like the choice to not include any dialogue was really interesting, and it kind of just made you like focus a little bit more on all the performances and how the director was telling the story. The music was beautiful, the performances were great, it was shot really well. Love that.
To say nothing else about the film, it is definitely about some very important subject matter. Women's reproductive rights is still an ongoing issue where some might argue it really shouldn't be. But it is, and any media out there, this film included, that helps shine a little more light on the subject is welcome in my books. And this one just does a nice job at letting us into the lives of people who could be affected by those decisions. So yeah, absolutely worth checking out.